Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bridge Walkers. We are so happy. We're so happy to be here and happy Valentine's Day Eve, the eve of the day of love. And we're talking about love today. We're talking about the cosmic love within. And so I'm so honored to be here with our beloved RevNed and our beloved Dana Sparkley. And, ultimately, when you get down to it, everything is love. That's really the basis, that's the core of everything. Anything else other than that is just the trouble we get ourselves in to experience other things, and it's all fine and dandy. But we always got to bring it back to that which is the centrifugal force of all things, which is love. And that's what we're doing today. We're just going to talk about all things love. RevNed has got an amazing video again for us. We are so blessed. We're so blessed, Rev, to have these videos. They're works of art. They really are, and it's such an honor to be with y'all. So, really quick, I want to remind you guys, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss our shows. We come on usually once a month. Sometimes we have special shows. This one we're out of time and space because we decided we wanted to align up with Valentine's Day. And so we welcome everybody who is here with us now. We've got our friends already coming in. Stone Hobbits here and Margie, Cosmic Bee, and we got Blue Iris with us too. So welcome everybody. So Rev, would you tell us a little bit about your video and then we'll get that puppy lined up for you?
Yes. First, I wanted to share with all the beautiful ones and amazing souls out there. February 10th was the wife and I 51st anniversary of our first date, which is very, very important to us. But also on that date in 2024, it started the year of the dragon. Coincidence. So the video was created on that first day of the year of the dragon. And I found the basis of the story of the enchanted stone in a blog by Elda the Rocker. So to get into this video, I just want people just to relax, take 3 breaths, 7 breaths, be thankful for the sacred space, be thankful for all you've gone through today, the good, the bad, the pretty, and ugly. They're all gifts, but it works at seeing them as gifts and unwrapping them. Some of those most difficult gifts, the trials and tribulations, are incredible teachers. And I asked amazing energies over this video, over each and every one that's present here, and over Mama Michele, Dana Sparkles, and myself. And it's a joy to be here with you two and with each and every precious soul that's here. And we'll can't wait till the show about cosmic love that's within us and the connections we have within us to go outside of us, an amazing pure love. Oh, amen.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So let's go ahead and bring that video on.
Thank you, Skyfools, for being with us here on Bridgewalkers. This program is entitled Cosmic Love Within. The bridges Rev is utilizing for this program is the bridges to the divine, to our guardians, our watchers, to the cosmos, through the journey of 2 children. The story I'm about to share with you demonstrates the power to be and do from the divine within us. These 2 children were programmed by their parents and the adults around them in their village, and this programming was wrapped in fear. The children utilized the divine nudge from within them to be and do them. These two fulfilled what the divine was encouraging to do when the world was telling them otherwise. It all began on a spring wet day in May. Elda and Arto stood at the edge of the forest near their homes. They were full of energy and their excitement levels were at their maximum point. They had decided to go on an epic adventure in the so-called cursed forest. The children were forbidden of even getting close to this forest. When they would ask the adults why they could not enter this forest, the answer was, only dreadful things can happen in the cursed forest. Do not go near it or the ancient beast that lurks in the forest will get you. Good old societal programming. Elda and Artos looked at one another. They took their first step into the so-called cursed forest. The divine energies within them gave them the boost to take that first step from the energies of fear that they had to overcome. Something beautiful happened within them. They felt a freedom on this path of the divine nudge. The children walked with a steady pace in the dense darkness of the night, their hoods over their heads as they tried to protect themselves from the menacing rain, but with little effect. This rain was a cleansing rain to prepare their path. Elda started shivering from the numbness and the cold, and Artos grabbed his younger sister's hand and led her through the forest until they came face to face with this enormous mountain. Stopping at a grandma tree, what were they to do as they stared at this mountain? Something within them said, look behind the sacred tree. The children found a little crack that was enough to fit one person at its foothill at a time. At last, they both nodded to each other to enter. They didn't come this far only to turn back now. So Elda moved inside first and Artos followed her. Artos followed Elda closely. They were walking for a good amount of time until they found themselves in this huge opening. The children looked around in awe. Never in their young lives had they encountered such breathtaking scenery. Divine sacred energies flowing in this sacred place. It did not match the fearful energies they were told back in the village. Just then, Artos felt a higher sensation from the cave somewhere, something that increased his awareness. He abruptly turned around. Who are you and what do you want? He cried, trying to sound brave, but no answer was given. Artos grabbed his sister's arm and dragged her along with him, the torches illuminating strange shapes and shadows that seemed real, but they were being nudged to journey on. He guided her in an opening in the cave. Something felt odd there, but something was drawing him, and he couldn't stay away from it. Just stay close, he whispered to Elda. Together they made a way inside the opening, and then all of a sudden Artos stopped. He gasped, and Elda bumped into him. Just then she laid her eyes on a black, scaly beast. It looked like a dragon, his sharp fangs and claws shining from the light that the torches emitted. Then the dragon opened his eyes to reveal two blood-red eyes that were fixed on them. Is this the ancient beast they were conditioned to be fearful of? Smoke started to twirl around the dragon, and strong mystical wind was coming from an unknown position. As the smoke cleared, where the dragon lay now stood an adult. But what amazed Elda the most was that he had jet black hair and the same blood-red eyes that the dragon had. Who are you? Artos stammered. My name is Omar. I'm the guardian of the enchanted stone. You have come a long way, young ones, and I admire you for your courage. Are you the dragon, Mr. Omar? Elda asked. Yes. But in order to guide you through the cave and lead you to the enchanted stone, I had to acquire this form just for you. You're the one that the adults refer to as the ancient beast, aren't you? Artos asked bravely. Indeed I am. I've been here in this cave for many centuries now and have met with many travelers such as yourselves, but none of them deem worthy to possess the enchanted stone. You have listened to your inner guidance, to the divine, and not from greed or fear. So I sent them away. The travelers, agitated that I sent them away, started spreading rumors about me and the forest. Now please follow me. As Omar started walking, the children followed. They walked through numerous cracks in the cave and finally came before an enormous door. They entered a room enlightened with cosmic sparkles, shining and protecting the beautiful purple stone. Yes, the enchanted stone. Come closer, Omar said. Come closer. He took the stone with so much love and he handed it to the two children. And he said, come and visit us again soon, Elda and Artos. Remember that the forest is filled, he said, with magical creatures, fairies and pixies and elves. They will also be delighted to see you two. Now that the enchanted stone is in pure hands, they will do whatever you wish. Your journey will dissipate the fears of the cursed forest for your village. A sacred fog started to gather around the children. The last thing that they seemed to remember was Omar smiling, and then they were back home with the enchanted stone. Elta and Artos, like each of us, have an energy imprint that they meshed together, and through this journey to the stone found themselves. Through this experience, they learned how precious they are and how sacred their head thoughts and heart thoughts are when meshed together, and how sacred their inner essence is that is connected to all that is. Enjoy this Bridgewalkers program. Marvelous Michele has her wonderful wisdom to share, and Dana has a song and the deep more for you as usual, and Rev will be in these delightful blend of cosmic energies somewhere. Thank you for being here. You are cosmic mystical wonder.
That was amazing. That was so good, Rev. Thank you
I
so
think
much.
that guy in that video is a little weird, but that's okay.
I think he's amazing. I absolutely love that. You know, it's so funny. I forgot to say our little prayer. Thank you for stepping into that. But it's funny because my prayer goes right along with your video. And so I want to say that really, really quick because I was cracking up. It's just what a delightful journey, Rev, into the forest with you. That was so beautiful. Thank you. And we'll talk about it more.
I do want to say real quick, I worked really hard to get those purple right in my eyes.
You did
I did,
good.
I did that on purpose to look like a dragon.
You did.
So
You
it
were
worked.
very dragon-esque. And let's all take a nice deep breath just really quick and say our prayer here. And let's just begin with sacred and holy presence of love. I am. Be with us. And holy presence of love, I ask that you open each of us up to the love that we are within, that deep, abiding aspect of our soul that knows that love truly is all that is. Holy presence, open our minds, open our hearts, and open our experiences so that we experience love all around us. We invite in the angelic realms of pure love and light to be with us today. We invite in the Elohai, the Seraphi, the Braha Raman, those great beings, those angelic beings that are of pure love and pure light. We invite in the high masters and ascended beings of pure love and light to surround us with that energy of pure love that we might experience it right here, right now. We invite in the beautiful devas, the fairies, the gnomes and dragons, unicorns, mermaids, and the sacred mystical creatures of the forest. Beloved elemental beings, cosmic cousins, dolphin and whales, all of pure love and pure light, be with us. Grace us with your presence. Envelop us with your wisdom. We invite in the saints and the holy ones. We invite in our benevolent ancestors. We invite the higher realms of guardians, watchers, holy ones, and we invite in pure love itself. And we embrace the love that you bring to us today. We're grateful for the purity that is our divine nature, and we call upon all of the aspects within us to come forth and express itself in love in our experiences, that we might know more love, more peace, more holiness, and more happiness than ever before. Because together we create a new matrix of love for ourselves and all of life. We create this new matrix for those that choose love as their way. And we open the bridge for those who will follow. We're bridge walkers, each and every one of us, creating bridges of love everywhere we go. I ask blessings on all who watch the show, whether you're here live or later. And I ask that every one of you discover the love within you today, and that it never, ever leaves you again. You are pure love. Hold that in your mind and in your heart. And I invite each of you to just say with me, I am love. I am.
I am love.
And as I speak this, so it is done. Abracadabra. As I speak, so it is. That's my favorite new little gadget that I have. Whoop, I'm going to remove this here. And I'm going to show our chat. We've got Wendy is with us, and also Lamar is with us, and our friend Colleen is here. I believe you call her. Oops, wait a minute. That's not what I meant to do. Hang on. There we go. Now, when you guys post, it'll show up here. Um, Colleen Callahan, who was on
Face,
the,
kind of man.
yeah, baby face. That's what she has there. So, yeah, welcome everybody. We're so excited that you're here. It's all about love, love, love. So happy. I'm so happy.
Before,
I was having so much fun when you were talking about the dragons. I could feel them. I could feel them. Mm.
well, I have to give thanks to our 9-year-old granddaughter, who's Oakley. And I learned from her. She's very mystical at 9. All those dragons, some of them are there, but you couldn't see them because they were small. But those are her babies. And there's names for all of them. The one that was on the microphone, the ones that were on both sides of me. I had a little baby one on my hat, little baby.
And around
Those
your
were
neck.
all, yes. Oh, yes. That was kind of her idea to have it wrapped around my neck. She brought 2 boxes full. She didn't bring them all. She brought the ones she thought Grandpa could use in the video. So I thank her for her love and support.
Oh, tell her thank you so much for sharing that with us. I love dragons. Ever since I was a little girl, I used to stare up at the sky and look for the dragons. And I would see the dragons in the clouds and I would look for them. And they've always like been present. And I had such a wonderful experience. It's probably been about 15, 20 years ago now. I was having a meditation in my home, and we were calling upon the mystical beings and inviting them in. And all of a sudden I felt just like boom, and I thought, oh my gosh, was that in me or was that around me or what was that? And I just heard this voice coming to me. It says, look outside. And I looked out this big plate glass window, and all I could see were eyes and a little bit of a snout looking in the door. And I went, and I'm looking around, can anybody else see this? I'm not sure if I want to say anything or not. And I just heard this like in breath and out breath. And I felt just completely wrapped in love. This dragon was here. He was purple. He showed me himself. He told me his name. Oh my God, I can't remember it now. It started with the E. And it was so beautiful. And he was there for the longest time. And he would show up, and I could always feel when he would land, it would be like this boom energy. It was so cool. I love dragons. I'm so glad we get to play with them today. So fun. Jill
Oh,
is
yeah.
here. Yay. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, the mystical realms are so important. You know,
Yes.
we've forgotten a lot of them. And you know, they've been relegated to the other places, right? They've been relegated to the mists, to lore, to myth, and they're every bit as present as all the other beings of other dimensions, as the angels, as the masters, as the saints and holy ones, you know, as our cosmic cousins, even. And so it's so exciting. I love that you got me so excited. And it was funny
Oh,
because I had written them into my prayer, and I didn't know that this is exactly what your video was going to be about. I know we had talked about inviting, you know, this energy in, but thank you so much. That was so fun. That
Rev
was so,
wanted to surprise you two too. We said that in our big staff meeting we had last time. I wanted to give a little surprise to you two also.
yeah, and I love that. That was so good. Tell your granddaughter thank you, thank you, thank you. She made me so happy. The
I
little
will.
cutie patootie.
She is definitely amazing. She is.
Oh my gosh, she is so
Like I
cool.
said, she teaches me. She come and asks the most amazing questions, and it makes Rev think about some things.
Yeah. And I've got a granddaughter too that does the same thing. These wonderful children that are here right now during this time are just they're amazing. They're so wise. It's like all the elders, the wise elders are returning in these kid bodies, right? It's like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. You know, one of the things that we were going to talk about too, you know, we do want to talk about love. We want to honor, you know, the Valentine's Day and the topic of love, but we're not really going to talk about Valentine's Day per se, as we're going to talk about what love is, right? How do we see love? How do we know love? How do we feel love? What is love? Who is love? You know, we have a lot of ideas. We're told a lot of things, you know, especially on TV. It's like love is the diamond ring. It's the right, it's all the stuff. But that isn't love at all. You know, love is truly in the heart. Love is truly a feeling, it's a thing. And I remember watching something, I don't remember what it was, it's been a while ago. And someone was asking and saying, well, how do you know God is real? You can't see him, you can't smell him. You know, how do you know God is real? And this ancient sage turned and said, well, how do you know love is real? And the answer that came back, oh, well, I feel that. Well, it's kind of all the same thing. We know love is real because it's something that we feel. And we have to make sure that we understand the difference between true love, pure love, and and satisfaction, right? Or Dana, you had put it really good. I can't remember quite how you said it, but it's like there's a difference between love and that pure love that's in our heart, then that comes from the spirit, the soul, and the outside love, you know, the eros love and the agape love, where it's not the things, it's not, I love you, therefore I will do what you want me to do, right? That conditional love, that conditional thing that we have attached so much of love to. We attach it to pleasure. We attach it to things. We attach it to getting what we want. We attach it to, I'll love you if you give me what I want, right? We've attached it to all that stuff, all that egoic stuff. And it's so important. And every year we get this wonderful holiday, if you call it that, to really remember what love truly is. And it's a divine presence within each of us. that if we can begin to allow ourselves to move into and be a part of, it begins to radiate out into the world. We begin to operate from that. And I wanted to talk about this too. Is, as love is given to us in this beautiful fairy tale Disney-esque thing, right? It's like the hero's journey, and the damsel in distress, and she is saved, and the bad mother comes along and tries to destroy everything, but the hero comes in and saves the day, and this is love. We're really being a girl that was raised on Disney. I still to this day almost look for the drama. And I've had to train myself not to do that, right? To find that one kind of broken one that I can fix, and the drama, and there has to be this whole journey where really love is truly a place within us that's already there. But we also have to remember too that love isn't always fun either. Love can show up as that mother who takes her shoe off and and bonks you with it when you're doing stupid stuff, right? Stop being dumb. Stop that, right? Love can be when a really dear friend of yours says, "No, I'm not going along with your crazy idea. You're going to hurt yourself and other people." Love can be even on a God level, an unanswered prayer. Garth Brooks has a great song, and every time I think of it, I get very misty. But it's some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. And so we have to remember where love comes from so that we can see it when it shows up. And it's not always there to give you what you want. Sometimes it's there to steer you in the right direction. Sometimes it is that friend that says, "No, I'm not doing that." There's been relationships that are broken up, especially friend relationships, when someone's kind of going off the rails, and the friend is like, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. That's love, right? That's love when you say no. And so I wanted to bring that up because we live in a world where love is used as currency, and it's used as a manipulation, and to recognize that that isn't love, not real love, not the love that we're truly seeking. We're seeking that love that's within each of us, that love that we feel when we're in the presence of angels, when we're in the presence of dragons, when we're in the presence of these sacred and holy ones who are here holding space while we take our journey through awakening again. Um, the holy ones on the other side. We were talking about Padre Pio earlier before the show, and how he had the stigmata, and how his very presence could heal people. Yeshua, to touch the hem of his garment. It wasn't because he was magical, although he was magical, but it's because he held that love. He held, God, and I use God in whatever sense you understand it, but held that love in his heart, that understanding that the kingdom of heaven is within, that love is within. Love one another. But love, it's not a currency, it's not something to use, it's something to be and to radiate, to share out. And sometimes it's very quiet, it just sits and is present, right? And so
Yes.
I love that when we started on that in our staff meeting, as we call it, because it's so important. It's so important.
When I was putting the story together for the video, and then did the video, and then I re-listened to it to make sure it was okay, is that the two children, always full of fear, heard fear
Hmm.
from parents, from the village people, heard it because that's where a lot of fear comes from, is EAR, three last letters of fear, ear, ear.
Yeah.
But there is this divine nudge within them to go beyond, to go beyond. And there they are on the edge of supposedly safe land and going to enter, the dark, creepy forest and meet the beast. And it was that all that time that's how I was thinking. They're processing that, and their heart thoughts are changing and their head thoughts are changing. And then they meet Omar. They meet the dragon. And turns out everything that the village people had said was a lie.
Mhm.
Because their eyes, which connected to their head thoughts and heart thoughts, were not pure love. So to me, that's what the enchanted stone was.
Yeah.
What
Absolutely.
something had changed within them, but they had to do it together, bring in their energy prints together, that they had to do this together. And it impacted the cosmos. It impacted the dragon
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
those other
Everyone.
beings within that force that he had talked about briefly.
Yeah.
And that he said this would help change and remove the fear, which perfect, pure love does. Removes fear, removes fear.
Yeah.
And it's ever expanding. Up to the time of my near death experience, I had taught on pure love for 36 years, classroom settings and churches, small auditoriums, that kind of thing. And there I am walking what I call the bridge, a lot of people call the tunnel, and it was pure love. It was like, I know nothing after 36 years of studying and loving pure love. It was like, I don't know nothing because it's ever expanding. That's what I was showed in that experience. It's ever expanding within us and how that can leave us. It goes out, it's going out and on the waves right now, out on the internet. But that's something I learned during my near death experience is just how amazing pure love is.
Yeah. And it's interesting because once you experience it, you recognize it when it shows up again. You recognize most of the time when it's not, right? But also you begin to seek it again, right? Once you experience that, you want more. That's why so often when people have those moments of pure bliss, of nirvana, samsara, those the words that we use for that God presence, that pure love, those mystical experiences in the presence perhaps of angels or masters, holy ones, that to have that and to remember who you are. And like a dream, it begins to dissipate and to then begin to seek it. That's what sets so many people on a spiritual journey is that expression, that experience, that sip of pure love for a moment, because it reminds us of who we truly are, and it reminds us of where we come from and where we're going to. And I know so many people have truly set on a spiritual journey to find that again. And that's one of the actions of pure love is it will set you on your way, on the right way. A lot of times it's a 90-degree turn, right? From where you're going. I know that happened to me when I felt that 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 there's no words for it. Anytime you try to put a word to it, it diminishes it. So often in spirituality we try to put words to things. We try to use these fancy words and all this stuff to describe it. And sometimes it's just,
One of the biggest things, plural, is what the health challenges I've had through the years. When I had the stroke a couple years ago, and I didn't even know my family. I've said this over and over. I didn't know how to floss. I didn't know how to shower. I didn't know how to write, text. I didn't know how to do any of those things. But through that process, the love within my head thoughts expanded. The love within my heart thoughts expanded as each day went by. And that's when I had this divine visitation outside the window that came in that was pure love. It was pure love. And
Mm,
again, it was like I had taught for what? Pure love for 38 years at that time. 37 years. And I was just scratching the surface. But that's okay because it's ever expanding. And Lamar says the very source of fear was the
mm,
dragon of love.
yeah.
There's a lot of people who fear pure love.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Well,
me teaching it, and you're up in front of a group and you see their energies. A lot of people do not like pure love
mhm.
because it will transform you from the inside, from the inside out. But all the health challenges is just it's purified with love and showed me more how to move, think, flow, and glow in that pure love. And
Kevin called
there's a,
love alchemy.
yes,
He was saying love
there's
is alchemy.
a
Mhm.
story that happened. This is true. It happened in a college down in the South, and they were growing trees inside this big building, and they were very successful. They knew what the right amount of soil, dirt, seeds, water, all of that. But when they got taller and taller, they fell over. And they found out the wind, the elements, which were the elements, but specifically the wind was not there in the building. That those trees need the wind, they need the storms to grow, to bring their roots go deeper, like us. We need those storms, and not sit there and moan. GMC, jump in your GMC and drive down the road, groan, moan, and complain all the time. They're there for amazing cosmic reasons. And for Rev, it turns into these pure love experiences of pure love.
We can take
Dana, you're
that
shaking
moment.
your head in a good way.
We can
Yeah,
take that moment and just breathe and witness what's happening instead of groaning, moaning, and complaining too. So often we jump.
relating and coordinating the information, what's being presented and processing it, and storing, releasing. I I see love as the sacred spine for it is the spine of sacred geometry, and it does represent structure. That's ongoing, and yes, it's a spiral, and amongst ridges, and when I reflect on the dragon, I think of the sacred spine, the
Mm,
sacred sign spine. I can't help it. It's it's because it must be there, uh, or we couldn't be here. There would be no physicality. Um, so uh, even math, even sacred mathematics, and we can get into that flower of life stuff, but like the core is there's that's structured on God's love direct, through that universal cosmic coordination, that divines, the divine separates, um, and combines both light and heaviness together, light and dark alike. We could, like uh we love, we'd like to say that it's comfy, but its duty is to present structure beyond our present view, um you know to include, every place we're presently standing and hope to stand in the future. It is the sacred spine for the universe, and it must have a backbone that as strong as darkness itself. Otherwise, like, we couldn't have this balanced, uh, opportunity, balancing opportunity, because that's our, and love has a lot of roles for us, and I'm grateful for all of them.
And
And
the spiritual tube that's called the Shishumna is also centered right in front of the spine, right? It's where the all the chakras, the energy forms root into, is into the Shishumna. And it's where the sacred energy spirals and the toroidal fields are created, is right there along the spine. There's a reason why it is there. It's protected, it's strong, it's solid, it is the structure. It's kind of like the I almost wanted to call it the manifold, but it's not the right word. It's the what do they do when they're repairing a building and they have all the ladders and all that stuff, and they got the, oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called. But they put this structure up around it so they can work on it. They can climb up to the different levels and
Scaffolding?
scaffolding.
Scaffolding.
scaffolding. Yeah. It's like the spine is like scaffolding. It holds everything together. It holds all the pieces together as we grow and change and shift. And there is a spiral energy that moves up and down the spine as well. Spirals everywhere, my friends. Spirals everywhere. Scaffold. Thank you, Margie. Yeah. And it is meeting the love within, right? When we meet the love within, it changes everything. And oftentimes it begins with an interaction with someone like an angel or a being like that. And I wonder, with our wonderful group that is here, how many people feel that they have truly experienced pure love? You can give us a hand or just a yep, yep, yes, or a why or whatever. How many of you guys feel like that you have experienced that in some form? And the other thing about that too, we've experienced it, right? But there's more. It's bigger than we've even experienced here because we are Stone Hobbit. Of course you have, you beautiful soul. And it's there's even more. Like we can only, yay, Margie, absolutely you have. Beautiful during the NDE. Yeah. I hear that a lot from people who have had that. I had an experience very similar to an NDE. I don't know that I can ever, Jill. Yes. Good job. Look at this. No wonder you guys are here, Wendy. Wendy is one of my sweet gals that is in our A Million I Love You membership that we have. That we our studies are all about love, loving the self, the God within, to radiate it out into the world. So yeah, absolutely. And it's cool to think that as humans we have a capacity for such immense love that we can even experience for a moment in time, that we're capable of that. And then to understand there's more, right? Because it's a frequency, and we're in this frequency field that this flesh thing is about. We can only hold so much frequency without, I don't know, I always picture bursting in the flames, right? Cancel, clear, delete that. But it's interesting, but there's more. And as we grow in frequency, we're capable of experiencing and embodying even
Yes.
more, that higher and higher frequency. And God, it's just amazing to think just what we've experienced, just what all of you here, every single one of you here who have said yes, and those of you who were scared to say yes. I know you guys are here. Everybody, whether you're live or you're watching later, you're here and you are drawn here because at some point, in some way, you have experienced this, or you wouldn't be drawn to be listening to this. You wouldn't be drawn to this. You wouldn't be drawn to Rev and Dana and I, because this is what we talk about all the time. You guys have experienced it, even if for a fleeting moment, even in a dream, even in that 1 second of when you're like, oh, that catches your breath. You've all experienced it. And there's more. There's even more. But it is about frequency. We did talk about that, about
Yes.
keeping your frequency up and keeping the positive thoughts and being good to yourself and being kind to yourself and others. It's that sacred fire love. It's like dragon. Yeah. Yeah. Stone is saying there's appreciation in knowing there is so much more available to us. There is. And as we keep growing and expanding and becoming who we are and allowing that love within us to begin to unfurl. I know for so much of my life, I kept it close, you know. It was like, why are people so mean? You know, it's like I kept it very, very close. And it wasn't until I got quite a bit older that I begin to feel safe to just really let it flow and show and talk about it. And when you do, you begin to invite such beautiful, amazing people into your life because of that, right? People like you folks start showing up.
It's it's amazing. This bracelet that I got on
Mm,
is a reminder of several relationships where people did not like me. Again, pure love wasn't well received in many of the places that I taught it or acted it out when I did one act plays. Or one of my favorite things I used to do is facilitate retreats on love, on pure love. And so there are several of these people. One of them gifted me with that bracelet, but for 10 years, it was not on this other person's part. It was like negative stuff, death threats, and working very hard. Here's that tree outside in the wind and the storms, and getting its roots deeper to create and experience and expand more pure love for this person. And that's happened at work, it's happened here, and it took 10 years or so. And the cosmos worked it out, and we're closer than we've ever been because of pure love. And this person gave me this bracelet that I wear every day as a symbol that we're we're that hollow bone, we're that sacred vessel. And it's amazing what can flow through us. Is amazing. It's totally, totally amazing. So every morning I say a little prayer and give thanks of the power of pure love, the cosmic love, the cosmic pure love. And it gives Rev hope every day, no matter what's going on, the good, bad, and the pretty and the ugly, that because the love for Rev is turned into mystical energies almost every day. Something happens. Something happens every day because of this. So Rev is very blessed to be able to do that. To do that.
yeah, absolutely. And you radiate such love out into the world because of that. You know, when you begin to really connect to that love within, it so often happens, you know, when you get something from without and have that and you begin to trust the intuition, you begin to move into that connecting to those places that are consciousness. And it's everywhere, the hollow bones. You know, every part of our being is made by love. You know, it's not just in one place. It's not just in the heart. It's every cell in our body is filled with love. There's even I think it's Greg Braden talks about how the DNA, the way it's encoded, is it's matches up with gematria with Yahweh, which is that there's actually a God code, and we're not talking a religious God. We're talking about the Creator. It's our very DNA is encoded with this pure love frequency. It's like it's everywhere, and it's only our programming and what we hear, hear, and what we see and what we're taught of the fear that's around us that's generational. It's like every family has their thing, their fears and their beliefs and the superstitions and all that kind of stuff. And we get programmed with that, and we're living in an age of deprogramming, right? We're deprogramming. That's part of the awakening. It's part of the coming back to ourselves. And we're all
Yes.
creators. We're all lovers. We're lovers. And the more we can act on that, in that, with that, as that, you know, it just creates more and more in the world.
The
And I think
more,
awesome.
go ahead, Michelle.
See, and I think that's awesome.
When I'm outside and on the back deck of oneness, and sitting there and looking up at the sky rivers, and when you radiate, when you focus on that, on this love, again, getting our heart thoughts, which our heart sends more messages to the brain than the brain, the Heart Math Institute, that's all, this is on their website. Our heart sends more
Yeah,
energy
yeah,
here than from our brain to our heart. And so when I'm out on the back deck and I bring those two together and just whoosh pure love out into the sky rivers, it's amazing how the animals and the plants react to that. Because it's something I'd love to do probably twice a day at least, is bless the land. Bless the land in pure love.
mm,
And people said they can feel it when they drive by our country road. Is again, it gets to, we are such amazing beings of the more. We really are. We're cosmic. We're gifts of the cosmos. And it's every day is unwrapping this mystical life. Even again with the storms and the
yeah.
trials and the tribulations that we all go through, right? We all go through. It's how we go through them, what we're learning, and how we're changing and transforming, and who we're becoming, and all those incredible energies.
And you're such an inspiration, Rev, and thank you so much for that reminder to be blessing the land, blessing the elements that as they move about and do their thing, that they carry more of that love too. I love playing with the crows like that. I'll go out in my backyard and I'll just send my love for the crows. And when I had my kitty cat Mikey, he those crows are all
Oh,
like, we're not sure we like that house anymore. And they're starting to come back again. And I was out there the other day, and I was just like, crows, I love you, come back, come back. And all of a sudden, I heard this caw really close. And this little guy came diving down, and he went over on the fence, and he was looking at me like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Come back, come back." And pretty soon, there were 20 of them on the house next door up on the roof. And I was like, "Come back, come back. I love you guys. You're so
oh,
fun." And they do, they listen, they hear us. And it's so important that we connect with nature that way too, whether it's a plant on your balcony on a high rise or the forest,
right.
wherever you are. It's important because when you connect with one plant or one natural thing, it connects to everything. We're all interconnected in this web of love. And when you're focusing on love and shedding that love, you connect to that matrix of love. Let's call it. It's a matrix of love that is connecting all of us together. It's throughout time and space. And we re-energize those avenues, those bridges, when we focus and make a concerted effort, a commitment even to doing those kind of things. We allow ourselves to activate again some of those that are closed down by a lot of the pain and suffering that's on this planet right now. And it's so important to open up those avenues. I'm going to call them bridges. We're all bridge walkers here. You guys are all, just because you're watching doesn't mean you escape the mental, the garb of the bridge walker. And because we're all part of it, right? We're all part of it.
Very much, yes.
Yeah.
Very, very much so.
We can't
Stone.
get away from it. We can't. We've even in our troubles, we try to separate ourselves from that. But like the more we separate, the more empty, the more emptiness we can feel. But that is the duty of these storms is to like see what hatches need battening down and tighten it up, and where does the fortification in our perceptions and our sensories, where are they at, if you're serious about responding with communicating with everything around you, just do it, and just feeling when we are able to feel our love is to say, hey, I appreciate the space I'm in right now, and it sets a tone for us to ask the next question of, hey, universe, what would you like to show me? I'm here, you're here, what you got to say? Because I'm listening, and like, who says that ain't exactly what the universe needs to hear too? I mean, everything is is in these different spaces, these different levels, and everything is a bridge that connects each other in this funky way. Even the darkness to the light, those bridges must exist. We can't dismantle them because they have to stay in place.
Yeah.
And it creates opportunity. It creates opportunity to freshen up our scenery and improve everything around us. As it knows it's related to us, it responds just as much as we respond to it. Um,
Yeah.
and talking to the universe like it's us is there's no other better way to know that you're related to all that has been doing that.
Right. Right.
And see what it's got to say, and let it line this stuff up for us. It's there for us. We're here for it. It's got to be there for us. We're here to fill each other's gaps. I mean, love's supposed to do that, right? It's not,
Yeah.
it's not just about using other things for what it can get. It's, like love it just kind of, it gives as much as it can, as much as it can produce. There it is. But it also represents an opportunity for a finer tuning of healthier structuring. And when we have a capacity to raise our children in those ways, they have an opportunity to know that they're related to everything, without so much need for a religious slant to determine this self-worth, because it's all inside of us, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. And it is an ebb and flow, and not all love is a whoosh thing. Sometimes it's a very simple thing, like hugging a tree, or seeing a baby, or playing with a puppy,
Yes.
And it flows. It's always flowing, always moving.
I was wanting to address a couple comments.
Yes.
First, Stone Hobbit. One day when I grow up, I'm going to have an accent like I'm from New Zealand and be like Stone. And I love your hair, Stone. And wait a minute, let me find it. Cosmic Bee asked, have you three met in person? I think that's a great question.
It is a great question.
That is a great question.
Now, are you talking this lifetime or
I bet she means that. Maybe she'll write back. Is it?
what planet have you people met on?
But anyway,
You
I'll
want to take
share.
that one?
Well, we all can add. First of all, I've never
Real.
met Mama Michelle in person, but we met. I don't know. I first knew of her three 3 years ago, four on Third Eye,
Yeah,
three
it's
or
been
four
a
years
while
ago,
though.
and I've been on other programs with her, and she's interviewed me a couple times. So I've known her that way, and I love doing video chats. Now, Sparkle, see the sparkles over around him? Now, him and I do know one another. We both have a lot in common, and we met through Lakota ceremony. And I can say Setting Bull brought us two together. We both have had incredible mystical experience with Setting Bull, who brought us together. And I can remember all these sun dancers from out west, Lakota sun dancers. They invited me to come up to facilitate a weekend gathering up around where they live. You talk about being humbled, um, and preparing to share with these people who've seen so much, done so much, if you understand even a little bit of what Sundance is. So it was a Friday night session, and I think we had two on Saturday and a Sunday morning session. And I had asked Dana to do a couple things during that. But Uncle Dave had a healing ceremony. And you were at both of them, right? The year after, weren't you at both of those?
I think
I think you
that's
were
that.
at both of them.
Probably.
The ones Larry did.
Yeah.
We're talking about the gentleman that was the indigenous person on what was the show, the Western show? The
Dr.
medicine woman,
Yeah, the
Doctor,
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman.
and he was actually doing the ceremony. He was doing it, and Dana was there, and we've talked, and we've had many 2-3 hour video chats. But yeah, we know one another from in person. Did anybody want to add anything else?
Yeah, that goes back about a decade or something, 8, 10 years. At least
Yes.
we've known each other at least 8 or 10 years in the physical, or more.
Yeah, Dana was one of them. Yeah, he was one of them.
Yeah,
and I got to meet one of them. I got to meet
one of
him.
them.
Both
One
of you are
of
so
us.
precious,
One
and our
of us.
energies just mesh so well together.
Hmm.
I hope Cosmic TB that answered your question.
And I met Rev through, I was a host on another show. And then I met Rev, and then I met Dana through Rev. And Rev and I were doing the show, and he kept telling me about this guy that was great. And he was, really into the indigenous culture. And he was um, he sang beautifully, and he was a sun dancer. And I'm like, bring him on. And then we do another show, and I'm like, where's this guy? Bring him on. And finally we got him on, and Dana's like, I'm not sure I want to even be doing this. And I
It's
was like,
weird.
okay, I don't know about this. You do your thing, whatever. And I just loved him when I first met him. And I'm like going, no, don't tell Dana this, but I'm like, I'm gonna make him love me, damn it.
I got that RevNed soap here.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you guys kept pushing on me in that way. It was good. Me and electronics, we don't get along well. As long as I'm not the one that's in charge of them, hey.
And we've just made such a beautiful team, and everybody is just so loving and beautiful and wonderful. And I'm really honored to be here with my two brothers. it's wonderful to be a woman, and have two brothers to be able to share these spiritual experiences and topics and really deep talks with.
Yes.
It holds they both hold the divine feminine in very sacred space, and it's beautiful to be able to share that with them. Yeah. Yeah. Rev being a little shy. Yeah. He's
He
been
used to have
blooming
short
like
hair and everything.
that.
I remember his short hair.
I I think I've shared this on another program about Margie. The first time I went in a lodge a long time ago, she was one of the ladies. I sat between two amazing ladies, okay? And she was one of them. I've sat next to her, and I was in the honored position in a sweat lodge. So that when you do that, and then you continue to go to many ceremonies, those things are blessings when you think back upon them and the energies thereof. But I do have something that I need to share that happened, and everybody will know that's Margie will know this at Uncle Dave's and Aunt Angie's. We were having a lodge, and I was always there trying to, we always helped to build the sacred fire and cover the lodge and do the prayer, all kinds of prayers and that we're supposed to use and extra prayers. This particular night or day, through the whole day, I just kept saying, Mama Earth, be pure love. Mama Earth children, be pure love. Elements, be pure love. Creator, be pure love. Talking to the entities and energies in the four directions, talking to the sky bearers, everything be pure love tonight. And I don't remember if it was the second round or third round. There's 4 rounds. Everybody had to pile out because the pure love was flowing so much.
Oh.
It's sometimes it's hard to stand with pure love flowing in a certain atmosphere. And we all had to pile out and lay out on our towels till it left. It was actually really, really amazing. It wasn't Rev, but I was just asking everything to be infused with pure love. When putting the tarps on, I was thinking pure
Wow.
love, pure love, and putting on the door, pure love, everything. It was just something was telling me to do that, and I obeyed. It was remarkable. It was remarkable how creation came together. And the willows, I mean, they talk, the lodge talks, grandfathers talk. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go up to Michigan. I don't know how I'll get there and sit in on one of Dana Sparkle's lodges. Who knows? I may leave and never come back. That's something that happens to me in lodges. I go out in the spirit and just I've gone to sleep a couple times on Uncle Dave's lap. And I'm off somewhere traveling. When he's doing a lodge, when he sits behind a bucket with water, and I've done that in the lodge there at the compound, he'd get a scoop of water. And you could hear him giggling and throw it on me to get me to come to. Because I'd lay right by the grandfathers, my head about that far, just to be as close as I can to the grandfathers. I've got burned a couple times. But Marge, you brought all that up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Margie. I haven't been in lodge for so long. I haven't done it in, gosh, probably 10 years now. And just every time we talk about it, it's such a beautiful, amazing experience. Dana, it's time when the ground thaws up there. Maybe we can
Mm.
have a bridge walkers.
Oh my.
A lot. Yeah.
Lodges are amazing. Growing up as a typical Christian, like getting ready and going to church, like there's a lot of formality involved in these things, and like most everybody's cranky the whole time before, to get there. People are happy after they leave, and because they got what they came there for. They set the stage and they did their time and they feel better afterwards. And And that's what I used to think church was for, putting in your time just to feel better afterwards. But getting in the lodges, I really, and I do enjoy it when other people are the ones that are in charge, because it's just I get to just leave my body and just hang out in outer space, and I can hear them down there somewhere, but like I don't need to be there. I got but everybody that's there is there for answers in their own life. It's they came there to help pull themselves back together stronger than they were before they got there, and like somewhere in being a part of the process of contributing, with the sacred fire to or even bringing some food, for afterwards, or just the participation, the contribution, the consensual communal efforts that are that are attached to lodges. It creates an intimate opportunity for people's spirits to just let go, to whatever filters are in the way. They don't need to be there. You're in the dark, and like you're not showing off your shiny shoes, your new suit in church. You're dirty. Because SWAT lodges it's about purifying your body. You're there to purify yourself, and relate to everything you can. And hopefully by the time that they're over, that needs to be what we get out of it, is to feel that stronger relation, and just knowing that we can't get away from ourselves. We can make labels any kind we want, but no matter how much of whatever we reject that's in there, it always full circles, and it's something we got to deal with. So it's amazing that lodges are done in the dark. So there's, so that way there you are. You can't get, you're not supposed to get away from you. You're supposed, you're supposed to embrace your sacredness and allow that transcendence, that transformation, that vibrational shifting. Everybody that is there, I mean, they are original. They are native. They are the original native churches, everybody that's there consents to seeing something better. And the more people you get together, the stronger the consent, the grander the family, the stronger the tribe. And there's nothing that you won't do for those people. You come. The only reason anybody's there is because they need it in their spirit. They're not there to please anybody else or to walk some comfy, cushy path of self-righteousness, right? They're there to relate with all that is, and like in that process, and throughout that lodge process, like everything else, it breaks down in the heat. It can't withstand. And it's not supposed to, it's supposed to put you there with yourself for several hours, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
I just blessed you, Sparkles.
Kevin's saying I'm building a sweat lodge and be ready for when Bridgewalkers tour.
The Kevinator. Think about that. Now, remember, he lives on a mountain in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So I guess we need a tour bus, huh?
Okay, guys. I was just thinking the same thing.
I love it.
That's it, gentlemen. We're going on tour.
The Appalachian tour.
The Appalachian tour.
Top to bottom.
Oh my gosh, I remember my first
Mars
sweat. Oh my gosh, when you're talking about that, Dana, I remember sitting, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had a friend of mine, Brother Bear, and he said, "We're going to a sweat lodge." I was like, "Oh, yay." Oh. He was like, "This is what you do. This is what you do. Don't say anything. Just do what you're told." I was like, "I can do that." Oh my God. I'm sitting there and I lean over and the men are on one side and the women are on the other side. And there's a gal sitting next to me and she's just calm as can be. And I lean over and I'm like, "How long does this go on?" And she goes, "Honey, you've been here 5 minutes. You got 3 hours to go." And I was like, "I think I'm gonna die." And it was just, and the sweat leader, what an angel. And he saw I was really struggling and he would just say, "Michelle, hand this to Michelle. This is for Michelle." Hand this to Michelle. And I'd get a thing of sage, right? And he'd be like, "Just breathe through it. Just breathe through it." And I'm like, "Breathe through that." And somebody like put it up to my mouth and went, "Just breathe."
You brought something up, Michelle, about, first of all, I want to say some of our staff meetings should be recorded because you referred to this earlier, the things that we cover and the depth that we cover them at and the incredible rabbit holes that we go down and discuss, all in a good way, all in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's to me, those are important for Rev, our staff meetings.
Yeah. Well,
I
if you
almost
will
started crying. That's why I hushed up.
yeah, remind me to record them, and then we'll maybe sit and edit and put some pieces together and have it. We'll never have to do another live show again.
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Oh
Behind the
man.
scenes.
Under the bridge.
Under the bridge. Dun, dun, dun. Down the rabbit hole.
Before we go, I just wanted to make sure. I know it was indirectly said, but the dragon in the story of the enchanted stone is a bridge. It's just like one of you were talking, I think Dana was talking, and I saw myself in the meadow where we've had many mystical ceremonies. We've had cosmic cousins, we've had many winged ones come. But what I was sitting by the fire, and she plays the flute. And I mean, we're there 3, 4, 5 hours for ceremony. And every time she played that flute, the little ones would come out and dance and sing. And they were part of this pure love. They're bridges. They're bridges. Yeah. Just as the crows, we have the crow people around here and the bird people, especially when the hummingbirds come. They'll sit there the last 2 years and go right here, like thank you, because we feed them. Or the one of them got in my hair, right here by my ear, and I could feel it. And they communicate that they're attracted to love, to pure love. They are. And I've shared this with quite a few people that's on here, that every night, Diane will be asleep and I'm up either reading or I do some games on my phone, which is good for my old brain, my 70-year-old brain. But when the lights go out and I'm sitting there giving thanks to all the watchers, to all the ancestors that I know are with me. There's a priest named Father Tom that told me 1.5 years before my near-death experience that it was going to happen. And he was there on the bridge the day that it did happen, smiling at me. And all the little ones, all the dragons, all the nomies, all of them, I give thanks. I go through this list, and it's just like energies all around me, little orbs, big orbs, and it's like they're put me to bed. And there's nothing in the world quite like that. Nothing in the world that's quite like that. And that's been going on for about 3 months now. It's just totally mind-boggling for me, and I feel so loved when I go to bed. It's just like You talk about oneness with the cosmos
Yeah.
because of pure love. Amazing. It's amazing. I'm loved. I'm loved.
You are
You are
loved.
loved. You're,
You are loved and you are loved. I just had a little notification from our restream here that we got. It said, "Uh-oh, reconnecting." So I'm
I
not sure.
saw it.
Okay, yeah.
You went a little blurry and came back.
Well, I was astral traveling over to Stone Hobbit to make sure she was going to come. This is fun. Some people are saying Bridgewalker bloopers. There's been some bloopers. There's
This
been
is true.
some language, mostly from me, that we couldn't put on YouTube either. We go way off on the rough sometimes. These guys are like, "Come on back, Michele, you troublemaker." Oh, this is so cool. This is
It's been
so
a
cool.
wonderful evening with everybody here.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. But we are not done yet because our Sparkle buddy here
Sparkles.
has this song for us. And I was trying to get him to do some like heavy metal, to
I'm
like
blessing you.
Temple Pilots. But he, of common sense, is using his own intuition, which I'm sure will be a much better outcome than the trouble I was trying to stir up.
maybe some Metallica. You guys want to hear some Metallica?
Yes.
I want to hear Sparkles Roo, the traditional Sparkles Roo.
All right. Well, are we ready for that?
Let's do it. I'm going to pop the chat overlay off so we can see you a little bit more.
Okay. It's back live, and we're back on the.
So I'm pretty sure.
You look alive.
So far, so good. For the moment.
Let's see. Let's try this. Let me fix my speaker. Put it in a different place. Hopefully things get picked up equally.
And so much of it is frequency too,
Yeah, and this drum, I'm not sure how much of it is coming through, so I just haven't been using it so much lately.
Cool.
Can you hear that?
Oh, yes, sir.
direction song. I give thanks for every direction that each of us are in, each direction we're in.
We could hardly hear your voice.
Really?
Now you're really clear.
Well, I'll work on I put the microphone on the side. It was on the side of me.
What if would you like to do another song so you can bless the people with your gift?
Yeah, let's I'll do one without the drum. I like this one. This is my favorite prayer blessing song. So we'll go with that one. Oh, say my life. Oh, say my life. Oh, say my life. Oh, yeah, why low high. I'm particularly my khakis and they watch oh yeah, why low high, Away, hey, ya, hey, ya, ya. Away, ya, 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 ya. Oh, yeah, why, aloha. Oh, matakas.
Oh, may we all remember the love within and remember that all that is sacred, all that is holy, all that is you is the same thing. We thank you so much for being you. We see you. I see you. It's the beautiful, holy beast that you are, the dragon within, the holy presence, the angel, the master, the holy one. It's all you. And you are beloved. Beloved, you are. And we thank you for being here. Amen. Amen. And Ahu. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And we will see you next time. And in the meantime, stay sparkly.
Yes. Bless you all.